right, we are live. Oh, Gustav. Welcome, everybody, to Thursday Thoughts. We are talking about batch cooking today, and super excited because we both use this method, Jessica and I, and it really helps us be compliant and on track with how we eat. So we want to teach you today how to do it and really just go over how we do it. That may help you, it may not. Everybody has their own way of doing it, but we'll kind of explain the process and what it is. Before we do that, though, I want to remind everybody we are doing a gluten-free challenge starting January 17th. It's 14 days, so it will last till the 31st. So if you want to be included on that, you want to be in the Facebook group, you want to get all the free resources, comment below in this video and just say I'm in, and we'll direct message you, giving you the details and let you know what's going on.
Absolutely.
So we'll introduce ourselves and then get right into it. If you don't know already, my name is Casey Kephart. I am the founder of Nutrition with Casey, and I host the Facebook group Nutrition for Women with Autoimmune Diseases. I work with women with all autoimmune diseases with trashing your symptoms and getting you back to life again, feeling great. And I live in St. Petersburg, Florida. Leaving it to you, Jessica.
Awesome. So for those of you who don't know who I am, I'm Jessica Melnick. I'm a registered holistic nutritionist, and I am the founder of the Anti-Arthritis Method and the host of the Happy Joints Arthritis Solutions group. And I do not live in Florida. I live in Saskatchewan, which is very cold right now. So we have officially entered the deep freeze at minus 27 Celsius. And I had to look that up because I'm always fascinated at how the temperature changes between Celsius and Fahrenheit. So with our wind today, it's minus 32 Celsius, which is minus 25.6 Fahrenheit, just to give you some perspective.
So, oh my gosh. So here I am wearing a tank top and you're in a sweater.
Yes, I am in 2 sweaters today because it is very cold and the furnace has a hard time keeping up. So it is very much winter here, but I always tell myself December 21st is the solstice, and that means that that's our shortest day, and then after that we get longer days. So we don't have like tons and tons of like weeks of this super cold. Usually, I'd say 3 weeks to maybe 4 or 5 at the worst over the course of December, January, February, and then it gets a little better. So so a little bit different in 2 different places in the world, but I got a brand new mug. Yes. Isn't it so cute?
I love it.
This is my winter treat to myself. So something pretty to drink all the tea that I drink. So this is another way I stay warm. I'm just drinking tea all day.
What kind of tea are you drinking?
Right now I'm drinking ginger turmeric tea.
I have that at home too. Does it have the little quote on it? I love the ones that have the quote on the tea bag.
This one is just like a generic brand, organic one. So no quote, but I know the yogi teas have the quote. Those ones, they're fun. So I've got some of that in my cupboard as well. That'll be for a little later on this afternoon when I need a little bit of a green tea caffeine boost. But for now, little ginger turmeric. So yes, I will quit talking and get on with our topic today of batch cooking. It doesn't sound super sexy, but in reality, when you go through the process, it's going to make you feel sexy. It's going to make you feel so much better, right?
Yes, it is. Really nothing is sexy about an autoimmune disease, but we're making it look good. When you're healthy, you feel sexy. So essentially this is all sexy, right?
Absolutely.
So why batch cooking, right? Why do it? First of all, what is it? So it's cooking your food ahead of time, as plain as simple as that. So if you fail to plan, you're going to plan to fail. So you need to plan your food up front and prep your food up front, and sometimes even make all the food up front too, and then freeze some of it, put in the refrigerator. So doing this, you can stay on track. You're never going to look in the fridge and see nothing to eat. That's when danger comes, right? There's nothing to eat, so we're going to grab the chocolate chips, or we're going to grab your kid's sandwich that's in there. Whatever it is that's left in your fridge and convenient for you to eat, you're going to eat. And we all do it. It's normal. But when you have compliant foods in the refrigerator or in the pantry or in the freezer, you're going to stay on track a lot better. So Jessica will get a little more in depth about how to do it and what it is, and it'll make a little more sense to you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Casey was saying, it's so easy to go off plan if we don't prepare ahead of time. We don't have food that's already ready, that's on our plan for us to stick to. So, yeah, it's huge when we get hungry and we get to, especially if we get to that point where you're just like hangry. It's
Mhm.
just like all of your desires for like the transformation that you're working towards by eating a certain way go out the window. It's kind of like, who cares? It's
Yeah.
kind of like the same thing when you have a couple drinks and
Yeah.
you're like on a diet, and then all of a sudden you have a couple drinks and then you're like, whatever, I'll just eat the Doritos, you know?
Yes.
It's the same thing happens when we're hungry
Yeah.
and we don't have food available. So um, basically, all batch cooking is in a nutshell. Like I said, it's not super sexy, but it's going to make you feel sexy when you can stay on track and eat foods that make you feel good. So it's just prepping your food ahead of time. It's picking your recipes out ahead of time and deciding what you're going to make and how many meals that you're planning ahead for. So sometimes maybe you want to do a whole week, maybe you want to do 2 weeks. You know, picking out the recipes that freeze well, that all you have to do is thaw and then add, some side dishes too that are quick and easy to do that
Mhm.
night when you're preparing that meal. So making your shopping list, planning when you're going to get your groceries that week, planning the days that you're going to be cooking that week. So it's just planning ahead, giving yourself a little roadmap so that you've got food available for you. And for this upcoming gluten-free challenge that we're doing in January, we're gonna get you into that mode of
Mhm.
planning ahead, picking your recipes ahead of time, getting your grocery list ready, getting the groceries, and just preparing the stuff ahead of time so that you can be successful. Because, like Casey said, if you fail to plan, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. I think we're both having trouble with words
We do
today.
every single time.
Oh, it happens to the best of us.
Yes.
So it's just so key to plan ahead when we want to reach our health goals, and put, whether it's, a lot of people are interested in losing weight. We're interested in putting autoimmune condition symptoms into remission because nobody wants to feel that way. It's definitely not
Mhm.
fun. So I'm going to just take a little bit of time to explain how I do my batch cooking, and Casey, you do yours a little differently. So
Mhm.
you're going to share as well, and just so you guys can get a really good idea of how two different methods can completely work. So it's just a matter of finding what works for you. What works for me is I decide, it's usually late in the week. I decide, okay, so I'm going to be home X amount of days next week. If I'm traveling, of course, it looks a little bit different. And it's like, I'm going to need roughly, this many like meals. So I'm going to need breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I often eat the same things for lunch and dinners. I like to have like maybe two different kind of main meals prepared for the following week. So what I'll do is I'll pick recipes the week before, and I will make up my grocery list. And then usually on like a Friday or a Saturday, I'll go and I'll grab my groceries, and then I pick a day that weekend where I'm going to do some of that batch cooking. I'm going to freeze things ahead of time. So, and I also am really lucky. My partner, Andrew, is amazing at cooking, and he helps me out too. So I can give him a recipe and be like, okay, hun, this is what I was thinking for this week for suppers or lunches, and he will help me out. So I don't have to do all of the cooking. And he also helps with grocery shopping too, which is amazing. So I'm hoping if some of you have that support at home, and if you don't be afraid to ask. I think that sometimes as women, we often get stuck doing all of the cooking at home or we're in charge of it. Not always, but I think the majority of the time. And it's okay to ask for help, and it doesn't have to be just your job. So trusting that other people can do a good job as well and give you a hand. So like I said, I like to do this kind of on the weekend. I like to do my extra cooking so that during the week when I've been working all day, I don't have to think, oh my gosh, it's Monday night. Now what am I going to make? I like to have something prepared ahead of time. So one of my favorite things is it's like a seasoned ground turkey, and I make that in 2-pound batches, and I freeze it in portion sizes. It's like, okay, here's a container that's going to last me 3 days, and then I thaw that. And then what I do, I live on roasted vegetables. I love roasted vegetables, so I just make those fresh, and they last me for like 2 to 3 days at a time because I'll make 2 huge cookie sheets of roasted vegetables at a time. So then it's just easy. I just have to quickly warm my meat and my vegetables up at lunchtime or supper time, and it's simple. So and same with breakfast. Like I'll make I have like a seed granola that I really enjoy, and I will literally make 4 batches of that, and it stays in the freezer perfectly well, and then I just have a little scoop in there. And it saves me so much time. So like I don't even have to think about breakfast sometimes for a month because it's just in there. It's just in the freezer. So that's in a nutshell what I do. But yeah, if you guys have questions for us about how we do it, just ask us in the comments. I'd be happy to reply to you.
Yeah. Mine's a little less rigid, or yours isn't rigid, but it's a lot more loose. But it used to be very rigid to where I would have either a Saturday or Sunday, I'd spend half a day. I would plan out all my meals that I'm going to have. I already had the groceries, and then I would make all of it. I would make like 2 pounds of vegetables. I would make all the meat that I had, and then I would freeze some of it, and then I would put some of it in the refrigerator. I would make my snacks. I would make some of my dessert, and that usually lasts a whole week. And then I would do it again over the weekend, and it kept me on track. Now, I'm a little less rigid, but I still batch cook and I still think ahead, and I make sure that I have food for myself that is convenient. So now when I'm making dinner, I don't know if anybody uses Butcher Box, but I use it. So I have, I don't know, 10 pounds of meat come to me every month, and I just stick it in my freezer. So when I take the meat out of the freezer for dinner, I'm going to make 3 pounds of meat because that's the packages they come in. I'm going to make all of that, and that way I have leftovers for the next couple of days. And of course, that's only one meat. So the next night I'll make dinner again, and then I'll have 3 pounds of another meat, and that will get me through most of my week. And of course, with the vegetables too, I'm making double, triple, quadruple amount of vegetables when I'm making my dinners. So basically, I live off of leftovers, and that's a form of batch cooking. You're always going to have that something easy to grab. And then at the stores, I'll grab convenient snacks that I can have. Or I'll just make the snacks as well. So Jessica, you have a granola. I personally, something that I've been really on right now is like nitrate-free salami and some goat cheese, and I make my own like roll-ups.
Nice.
So that's super convenient for me, and making sure I have things like that on hand saves me from, I don't know, eating chocolate chips or going out to eat and not and accidentally eating gluten or something that I'm not supposed to be eating. So leftovers is key, is the moral of my story. If you don't like leftovers, you're going to learn to like leftovers doing batch cooking. Unless you have time every day to cook your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And that's fine too, if that works for you. But like we said, there's so many different ways of doing it, but figuring out a way that works for you is what's going to keep you on track, whether you're gluten-free, whether you're doing the autoimmune protocol that we have, you're trying to lose weight. This can help anybody and everybody here.
Yeah, and like you said, you have to find a way that works for you. So maybe you do want to cook your dinner fresh every night. And so you have your breakfast and lunches and snacks all prepared ahead of time, kind of thing, so then you do maybe have that time to cook your dinner every night if that's something that you want to do. I know for myself right now, like you said, Casey, I live off leftovers too. I love it. Like for lunch today, I'm just going to go in the fridge. I have leftover roasted cabbage and roasted yams. I'm going to have some of that with my ground spiced, kind of like Italian spiced turkey. And it's done. Breakfast this morning, I had like a pumpkin bar. I had made a batch of those the other weekend. I had them all frozen in my freezer, and it's just take it out and like warm it up or thaw it the night before and have a few in there. So just, yeah, stuff like that where it's like it's in there. And especially if you have like a sweet tooth, there are really good healthy options that you can make and keep in your freezer so that you don't have to like grab, a Snickers bar or something equivalent that's just going to make your blood sugar skyrocket and crash, and then you're going to feel awful. There's things that are just as satisfying that are a healthier version too. So it's just good to have that on plan, or on hand.
Yeah, definitely. So we'll give you tools in the gluten-free challenge as well to get on track to do this. And again, like Jessica said, if you have questions or you're confused or this has gone over your head, ask us, let us know, because it will change your life. Mm-hmm. I'm being a little dramatic, but not at the same time.
Yeah, it makes a huge difference. Absolutely.
Yeah. So again, if you want to be part of our gluten-free challenge, we're going gluten-free for 14 days, and we're here to keep you accountable and supported towards it. You'll be put into our private Facebook group for accountability. We'll be going live Monday, Wednesday, Friday to help you out and give you a chance to ask questions live with us. Mm-hmm. And then we'll send you a bunch of free resources to get you going and to help you along the way. So comment below if you're interested in that and wanting to do it, and just say I'm in, and we'll direct message you and give you all the details.
Yeah, we're making this fun, guys. Yeah. So this is the
we're
best
making it sexy
and fun. All the things.
All the things.
So much better than doing this on your own.
I agree. I remember when I went gluten-free on my own, and it was a pain in the ass. And that was, I don't know, 8 years ago or something like that. So do it with us. We're the experts here. We can help you out. And I'm sure you have a lot of information and tips and tricks to help out other fellow people that are doing this too. That's all I think we have to share today, right?
Yeah, I think that's all. We'll be back next Tuesday with more topics before Christmas. Last week, we're going to be taking the week off after Christmas because Christmas is on the weekend this year. So next week, you get us a couple times, and then we're going to have a little break, and then we'll be back with all things gluten-free challenge.
And the new year, new you, new me, new health, new diet. All right. Everybody take care. Have a good weekend. Comment below.
See you guys.
Bye.